to them. The All-Seeing Guys. The All-Seeing Guys. With Greg and Joe.
Hello and welcome to episode 164 of the All-Seeing Guys podcast. I'm, of course, Greg, and I'm joined always by the lovely Debbie McGee. Sorry, what is your name?
I'm Debbie McGee.
Yeah, I'm Debbie McGee. Debbie McGee.
Does that make you?
I wasn't referring to
Paul
you as my
Daniels
wife
over here.
or my assistant. I wasn't referring to you as my wife or my
I don't know
assistant
which I'd
in that.
prefer, in all honesty. Maybe wife?
Assistant wife.
I'm assistant to the wife.
This is my wife, and this is her assistant, who was also my assistant. My
No.
assistant wife.
But yes, I mean, obviously I'm Joe Jackson.
Obviously, he's Joe Jackson. How are you, Joe Jackson?
I'm very, very well, thank you. I sit here enjoying my first day of a holiday, a week off work. I'm not in like the Bahamas or anything. We're not doing this that far.
Yeah.
I am just having a week off work as we gear up towards things like stock takes and fucking Christmas time.
Yeah.
Not that we're busy
Do you
during
reckon,
Christmas
does a
time.
DIY store have a Christmas rush?
No, I don't. Well, maybe.
I mean, maybe he will buy stuff
feel
to
like-
help with decorating. Maybe somebody
feel
wants
like-
a hammer for Christmas. Like,
Yeah, I feel like things like, a dad present is like a power drill or something like that, I feel like that's a real dad present to get someone.
yeah.
So you never know. We might have a rush on power drills or like a sander or something. But
In my house, in this household, Lizzie would prefer that present to me. She would. She generally would. She'd prefer that present to me. I'd be like, oh, great, a power drill.
A multi-tool. Oh.
A
Yeah.
multi-tool.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see people gifting themselves, 5 litres of like paint. I can't see that being something that's going to catch on.
Yeah.
It should though, because paint's really expensive.
The paint is expensive.
This is my main present.
Now it's time. I've been getting brushes all evening for Christmas. Now you're ready for your main present. Oh, what could it be?
What could it
It's
be?
a gallon of mixed paint. Speaking of mixed paint, we obviously without giving much away, Joe has been spotted popping up in certain Instagram ads for his work. So do keep an eye out on Instagram for any ads of that do feature Joe alongside actors. Like, you're not serving real customers in those pictures.
I'm not.
Are you?
No.
You're serving actors.
All paid actors that were in that day. Some of the other members of staff in the photos that have appeared also actors. Just for some reason, just me being used. What can I say? Got a face for 30-second Instagram ads.
Joe is the only one in there who's not an actor.
No,
But
didn't
keeps
get
popping
paid
up.
for it.
Obviously, you obviously got a face that just screams paint. He's
God, I'd like to
got
paint.
a face for paint. This guy.
God, I'd love
Face
to
for
paint
I
that
love it.
face. Oh, let me paint that face. Yeah, no,
But yeah,
that's,
do keep an eye out for Joe's face.
It was because I mean when we first opened the store, there was like the opening day, there was like some media stuff being filmed, and they asked me to do some bits. And then a little bit later on, they did it again, just for like sort of social media adverts and stuff. But yeah, my mum, when she sees them, she'll screenshot them and send them to me because they pop up on hers for some reason.
Print them out and put them on the fridge.
That's it. Yeah, just like, oh, look at my boy.
Look at my boy, I've got so many of his screenshots on the fridge.
It's quite a. The great thing is that we're telling people to look out for Joe in adverts, but we're not telling them the company. So it's that's the fun mystery.
No, exactly. Yeah, so it's even more. It is a fun mystery. It's a very fun mystery. So we've hit a few technical difficulties before we even got started today. Annoyingly, we were meant to actually meet in person tomorrow and record in person and work on the radio play, but Indiana has been off nursery with a really, really high temperature and a really bad cough. She's currently sat behind me, so you may hear her iPad occasionally, or you may hear her coughing or what have you. Are you all right, Indiana? Yeah. She's okay.
Also,
she seems
there's
alright during the day, but it's still hot. But at night,
there's two men on my roof right now that I can see. They're literally they've just turned up. There's with a ladder, and they're now on my roof.
What are they doing?
I don't know. They're just here.
Are they window cleaners?
No, they're on the roof.
How? Roof of what? Your actual house
So
roof?
like
tiled
Yeah,
roof?
yeah. So where my room is, below the window is like a flat roof.
Right.
And they're here.
Is this like a call in the police situation?
I don't think so.
Are you expecting men?
I think they are here to do work. You might be able to hear them.
I think so.
Do you remember the time we were in my...
I can hear. I can hear the stomping going around.
Do you remember the time we were at my flat and those two guys were on the roof of the corner shop with a flamethrower?
Yep. We were just recording, and then I saw somebody walk past your window, and we were on the first floor, so it really freaked me out.
So bizarre. Why does this always happen to me?
That was bizarre. Yeah, that is bizarre.
So yeah, this is all just going on at the moment. So I guess I'll just try.
It's all happening.
I'll try and act naturally as much as possible.
Can you just shut the curtains?
It's a bit late for that, in all honesty, Greg. I don't want. I don't want to just stand up and just make eye contact and close my blinds slowly. Oh, so this. I mean.
So yeah, it's all happening. So Joe's got an audience.
Yep.
Looking through the window at the time of recording. I've got Indiana behind me. You'll probably hear her coughing and stuff. Yep, that's happening. They're like, oh my god, there's someone home. He's sat in that room talking into what looks like a TV remote. What do we do?
Oh,
play it cool.
What
slowly
do we
get off
do?
the roof.
We just carry on. Just keep calm and carry on.
What happens? So yeah, Joe's got that going on. I've got Indiana at home. What?
So Joe's got that going on.
Joe's got that going on.
Just made me laugh.
Yeah, Joe's got that going on. I've got Indiana sat behind me, so yeah, you may hear her coughing and what have you. She's okay during the day, but at night she's like red hot, really bad cough.
Yeah.
And it's like I slept downstairs last night because I tried getting to bed and she wasn't there with Lizzie, and Lizzie's like, "You're better off downstairs. She's not well. You won't get much sleep." And yeah, she was coughing all night. But so she's off nursery.
Yeah.
But she can't go back until obviously she's better, and we have to have a negative PCR test.
Yeah.
We've done the home testing; it's all negative, but they need one of those, so we have to do that when she's asleep tonight. Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
But then we tried to record through. So we were meant to be recording in person. Now we can't, so we're doing it back over Skype. We tried recording through Zoom this morning, but we couldn't get Joe's audio to work. So then we set up through Skype, and then the issue I have with my interface happened again, and I had to turn everything off and restart everything to get sound. So it's all been going this morning. It's all been going this afternoon.
It's been quite shambolic, hasn't it?
It's been very, very... We've probably actually been talking on Skype for like 40 minutes before we've even got going now.
Easily, yeah, easily.
So we're here, we're going, it seems to be flowing. And I'm here for the fucking ride.
For how long? There's no way of knowing.
For no way of knowing. We'll see what fucking happens.
We'll just climb in. But yeah, what have you been up to, Greg? Any fun bits?
Work. I say like today, Friday as well. I think Thursday, Friday. Lizzie has been working from home with Indiana being sick. She's working from home today until Indiana goes back to nursery. Hang on a minute, a gate just fell on top of Indiana.
Oh my god, is she okay?
Yeah, she's okay. Are you right? Can you get your leg out? That's it. Jesus Christ. I don't know why we had this lying around. This massive gate that's sat at the top of the stairs.
I
It's
just
been
heard
leaning
a thud.
against the wall.
I just heard a thud.
Indiana's lying on the floor and it's just falling on her.
Her like legs through it.
Yeah, she's all right though.
Oh god.
You okay? She's all right. She's nodding. She's okay. Tough girl. Whereas
fun.
last time that happened, I was downstairs and I heard her just going, "Ah!" And I was like, oh, what's happened now? And she was like, buried under this gate.
Oh, man.
So yeah, Lizzie's been off. Lizzie's off like most of this week. So when it's like back in lockdown actually today because
Yeah.
we're all indoors. And when Lizzie works from home, it really affects my internet upstairs.
Yeah.
So like literally almost to the point where I can't even work on my computer. I have to go downstairs on the laptop. So that might be playing a part in our setup today, trying to do this.
I mean, we could try and do this another day.
No, let's go. Let's keep going. It's good. I want to get it done. Let's keep going.
All right,
seem
I'm
to be
good.
flowing now. We seem to be flowing now. Yeah, but no, I'm all right. I still don't manage to get any petrol.
Do you need
It's
it?
still pretty mad. Everyone, yeah, I'm under half a tank now.
Yeah.
And when it gets to that point, it kind of goes really quick. Like my car will like really like take a while to get to like half a tank, but when it hits half a tank, that second half goes really quick.
Ah, it's one of them, is it?
Yes, a car. Yes. So
yes, a
and
car.
typically, just I don't really feel I have to drive much unless it's like somewhere I'm I've in advance. I need to drive here that day. I need to take going on holiday. Very rarely there's big drives. But recently, this week, I've had to do so many, just like dropping things off, going to shops. I had to drive to like the other side of Sutton to drop something off for work, and then pick it up again. Just all of a sudden, there's been loads of driving needs to happen.
Yeah.
And that's where my petrol's going. And I tried to stop off at 3 petrol stations the other day. 2 of the queues were big, and I queued up for a while, and I was like 3 cars from getting petrol when they put up the sign saying they're out of petrol. I was like, fuck's sake.
That's annoying. That's annoying.
Yeah.
But you kind of do just have to like
And
commit, don't you? You got to just sort of commit to the queue and then just hope you get there.
It's annoying. But whereas
right.
like, people I chat to who don't live like around here in London, they're like, oh no, it's all finished, it's all fine now where we are.
Yeah, of
But
course.
round here, it's still crazy.
Because it's fucking London.
Like, it's still
And everyone's
crazy
a
around here.
lunatic.
It's fucking insane. Yeah, it just causes crazy traffic, especially even just taking Injan to nursery in the morning. It's just insane fucking traffic everywhere because of like.
Is the roundabout
because
still
of so
bad?
many petrol stations near me. It can be, yeah. Yeah, it can be.
Oh no.
But you're right. Yeah, it can be pretty crazy. So yeah, it's really inconvenient and really fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Round the back of my house, like the other day when I had to drop this thing off for work in Sutton, Indiana was off, so she came with me, and I kind of got to the car, and so literally there's a skip in the middle of the alley, and I'm just like, fucking hell, where did this come from? How did the skip appear next to my car in this alley without me? That must have been a lorry must have driven down it to like drop it off.
No.
How did I not even know this was happening?
Can you get out?
It took me a while, but I did get out. It was a lot of little bit forward, little bit back,
Yeah, one
little
of
bit
them.
forward, little bit, and eventually I managed to turn the car completely around and get out.
Yeah.
About an hour or so later, I was back, and I was like, I managed to park it okay, but this time the lady was filling up the skip. And I parked up next to her. I parked up, and then as I got out, she was like, usually we don't interact much, me and this lady. She must have a road over, but her back alley, her back where she parks her car in her garden kind of backs into the same alley opposite where I am. Mm-hmm. So if you got my back fence, it's the alley, and then right in front of me is her driveway into her garden. And she's there filling up the skip, and then she's like, oh, I'm like, morning or afternoon, whatever it was, and she's like, oh, the man had real trouble dropping off this skip this morning because of your car. And I'm like,
Fuck you.
not really my fault. Like,
Yeah.
like, not really. I'm in my own parking space.
Yeah.
Blissfully unaware there was a skip being delivered, and I wish you had told me because I had quite a tough time getting my car out.
Yeah.
And then it just got a bit weird, and she was a bit just like, oh, well, you're gonna have to move it. Can you move it, please? And I'm like, well, when's he coming to pick up the skip? She's like, well, I don't know. I'm like, oh.
Well, then I'll tell you what. When you find out, I'll consider moving my car.
This was Tuesday last week. This is happening, and I'm like, Tuesday. Oh no, Wednesday last week. This is Wednesday last week, and I'm like, oh, okay. So, is he coming today? She's like, no. And I'm like, well, when's he coming? She's like, well, when it's full, obviously. And I'm like, why are you being like? I'm just,
that's
wait,
such a
when's he
dick
coming?
move.
Give me a day. And then she's like, I was like, is he coming tomorrow? She's like, he might do. And I'm like, well, let me know, and I'll move my car then.
Yeah.
Like, she just wanted me to move my car. But
Dickhead.
obviously, just some reason it was really stressing her out. And I'm like, I'm not moving it, there's nowhere to park else.
Dickhead move, mate.
Left it. But then she did knock on my door like 2 days later. Like first, maybe Friday, and was just like, she knocked on the door, opened it, and she went to hand me a handwritten note. And she's like, I bought you a note in case you didn't answer. I missed one of the most important bits out. When I was like, tell me when to move my car, I will. She's like, well, what number do you live at? And I was like, 136. And she's like, oh, well, I'll never remember that.
Why?
Like,
why not?
And I was like, don't see where that's my problem either. But when I opened the door and she was there, I literally was like, oh, you found it. Like,
It's like, well done, your quest is complete.
She's like, oh, I didn't think you'd be in. I'd written you a note. And this note looked really long. But she never actually gave it to me because she was like, oh, you're here. Oh, they're coming on Tuesday. And I kept looking at this note in her hand because it looked way too long to say they're coming on Tuesday. Please move your car. But she at this time she was really nice, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe I just caught you on a bad day. Maybe you were just stressed. I don't know.
Or maybe that note was really long.
I know you're desperate to know, Joe. My car is actually now in the front street in preparation for tomorrow's skip pickup.
Well, I was going to say maybe there was things in the note that she couldn't just bring herself to say out loud. Maybe some explanations as to why she was such a bitch.
I can't stop thinking about our interaction. I'm so sorry.
Are you married?
I don't think it was along those lines at all.
Oh,
To
shame.
be honest with you.
Well, you can one can dream.
No, one can dream. But yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to put, because parking, it's so ridiculous. You know what my street's like. It's so hard to park at certain times there. Everyone has like 3 cars. House across the road has a driveway that you can fit 2 cars in. Then he has like the driveway that kind of goes over the pavement where you can also park your car.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he insists on parking his car outside my house. I don't understand why.
That's weird.
So I've swooped in today and taken his spot. And he's come back and I saw him hanging at his car. Was literally parked, waiting next to mine for a while while he looked at his window at it. And now he's parked in his drive. What a poor man.
I don't understand.
His own driveway.
Because actually, we have
drive.
parking issues around our way as well. Because the neighbour next door has these 2 huge black vans, and he uses them to block his. So his driveway has like an entrance and an exit, so it's got 2, and
oh right, yeah,
it's one of those ones that kind of sort of go round in like a semicircle. And
that's what I was picturing. Yeah,
but he uses those 2 vans to block in his very expensive car, which I think is like a. Fucking, it's one of those like Ford Mustang fucking things, and so
very expensive.
But then he'll always like but then he'll park his giant vans outside on the street, which then blocks my mum's view. So it's like there's all this uproar about it. The neighbours across have been purposely parking where he puts his van, so he can't park there. And it's just, it's just a lot of politics, Greg. You know what I mean? It's just
parking politics is literally like one of the worst things. Like it really is.
Parking politics is fucking terrible. Parking is the guarantee. Like is easily the best way to start an argument.
And it happened. Like I remember, I worked with this girl at Tommy Hilfiger, and she had like. She'd moved into this house. She had a parking space on the street that was hers, to keep with the house she lived in. But someone had been parking in it the whole time she hadn't been living there, or whatever. And then they moved in, so she was like, "Right, this is my space." And this guy didn't like they had moved in, and he was like keying her car and stuff in the morning.
What is wrong
like
with
really, like. But he was like a 60-year-old man.
Yeah.
But I think or maybe older. Who just obviously lives at home retired and just like all he wants to do is
fuck up everyone's life.
Defend this space that actually isn't technically his or any way, shape or form.
Yeah.
So in the end, the police got involved and they said to him, it's her space. Like, he's like, yeah, but I've been parking there. It's like, well, you're not now. Like,
yeah.
But it went on for months. Like, he was literally like coming down in the morning. She would leave early in the morning and catch him outside, like criminal damage, like trying to like key her car and stuff, or puncturing tyres. And then she's like, well, how am I going to move it now? You punctured my tyre.
Yeah.
Like all over a parking space.
It's
insane.
mad, isn't it? It is so mad.
God,
I mean, it's just
when I lived
Britain,
in that flat in Surbiton, I used to get. We didn't drive then, so I didn't have a car, so I didn't need a parking space. But when we moved into the flat in Surbiton, we were told, "Oh, it doesn't come with a parking space."
Yeah,
it obviously did come with a parking space, but the landlord was keeping it for himself because he would show up in the evenings and park his car in it. But I used to get so many notes through my door from people asking to buy my parking space.
Oh,
during
that's
the
common.
week so they could park. So I know it is, yeah, pardon me. But they were like offering, like, one guy was offering me like 1,500 for it.
That's mad, isn't it? That's fucking crazy.
And I'm like, and I'm literally just like, it's not my parking space. I can't guarantee you it's always going to be free because I don't know when the landlord uses it.
yeah. Just
A
like
guy
a little,
downstairs got a second car and offered money to use it. Like,
a little like 8 foot by 2 foot fucking space, and people are trying to give you over $1,000. It's just like, mate, people are mental. People are utterly mental.
I mean, it makes life easier if you've got to park up and walk to the station. But sorry, guys, it's probably really boring. We started talking about parking for some reason in quite detail. And we always seem to have stories to share about parking.
Yeah.
I'm yet to encounter such a thing. I've not had to encounter any arguments about parking. I'm sure at some point I will, but I haven't had it yet.
No.
Like, I prepare myself. I assume every time I park anywhere, someone's going to come out and have a go at me for parking, but that hasn't happened yet.
Sodom. Just pull out
Especially
a knife.
around here, you see a lot of curtain twitchers around here. In Cheshire.
Yeah, I bet.
And that as soon as someone pulls up, you do see, well, who's that? Where they parking? Who they parking there? Who's that?
Are you from round here?
Oh, are you from around here?
The
What side
fucking
of the tracks are you from?
gatekeepers. The Chessington gatekeepers. Who goes there?
That sound. Who goes there? That sounds. We're not the Chessington Neighbourhood Watch. We're the Chessington Gatekeepers.
It's like the
Walk around with
from
cloaks.
like the 70s and 80s when they used to have the guardian angels in New York who used to patrol the streets.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah,
no
yeah.
one-
you guys- and
but
ride-
no one
ride
asked
the
them to
subway,
do
didn't
it.
They? No, yeah, and ride the subway and stuff, didn't they? In their like burgundy bomber jackets
And like berets.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
wore fucking berets.
Sick. Yeah, man. Yeah, they did. What
Hard.
had a documentary about that on it? I want to say it was my Watchmen Blu-ray. I definitely had a like film that had a
it could be,
documentary
it could
on
be,
it,
you know.
and it was all about.
Because I
them.
remember definitely seeing something.
Yeah, and it was all about those in New York. Yeah, yeah, and I swear it was on the Watchmen Blu-ray
I
back when I
believe
bought Blu-rays.
I believe
There's a belief.
that like the head or the main person of the guardian angel, because it's still a thing now to an extent.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I feel like he's running for some sort of like political position in New York, maybe.
Oh, right.
I'll have to research that. I didn't know we were going to have this conversation,
maybe.
so I'm completely unprepared.
No, well, I'm not prepared either. I tell you what I am prepared for, though.
Geese dropping?
Geese dropping. We get snippets
Yes.
of a conversation heard by us or you, and we read them out and laugh and sometimes discuss them, sometimes not. Who cares? We didn't say it. Someone else did. Geese dropping.
Gaze dropping. Having a listen.
I just make them up as I go along now, these intros.
No, it's got me. I
We've
had that vibe.
first of all, thanks to everyone. We put the call out many episodes ago, being like, we need geese shots from listeners, and you guys have just been on it since. Like, I don't think I've bought many of my own ones to the table recently. It's really
I've
been
had
you guys.
I had one in the last maybe like 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Just put my headphones on all the time now these days.
Yeah.
I can't just.
This week's no different, man. It's all you guys, and there's some fucking crackers in here right now.
Excellent.
Fran sent us one. I quite enjoyed this one. First one: don't do drugs, don't smoke weed, just vape, dude. You know it. Vape Nation.
Someone said that out loud.
Vape Nation.
Someone
It
said
looks
that
like
out
two
loud.
people talking. Yeah, it looks like two people because she's got a clown emoji which says, "Don't do drugs, don't smoke weed, just vape, dude." And then underneath, she's got a devil face emoji, and their response is, "You know it," and then in all caps, "Vape Nation."
That's fucking sad. So a clown and the devil were having a conversation.
I mean, yeah, perhaps.
Man, I thought the devil was cool. I have been wrongly misinformed about Satan being
I assume
cool.
from the all caps, I imagine like their fists are in the air as well. Vape Nation.
Yeah, like a Rage Against the Machine album cover.
Yeah, yeah.
Vape
I am the
against
Vape Nation.
Vape against the machine.
Vape against the nation. We have a skis drop from Sam, which he overheard on the train.
Okay.
Let's see what was being said on the trains.
His
in
trains,
Huddersfield.
his train drops are usually quite good.
Really good, yeah. I can't leave chips. I can't leave chips if I'm full. They're just too nice. Can't get a blowjob either.
That went in a different direction almost immediately.
It does go in a different direction, doesn't it? It's like I can't leave chips if I'm full. They're just too nice. I get that, but then can't get a blowjob either.
Like,
you're not
what's-
allowed
like,
blowjobs
what do you-
if you
like-
don't finish your chips.
Is that Have
Have you been told eat all your dinner or no blowjob? Like,
from his mum?
oh,
That's-
I'm gonna
yeah,
suck your
no, I
dick.
don't
Oh, wait a
understand where
minute,
that
wait a
comes
minute.
in.
Did you finish your chips? Oh, I left a couple. Sorry.
It's like
Can't
a
help
couple. A couple.
Move along.
There was a potato famine, and you're just leaving chips.
There was a potato fam.
Potato fam.
Potato fam. Stuart Bailey drops us in with a geese drop here. This one's a little dark, actually. It's a bit dark.
good.
This one from Stu.
Okay.
It's he overheard as he walked past a lady on her mobile, and he heard her say, "I just need some small human interaction, even if it's with someone I hate."
Oh no, not me. Not me. No.
No, I'm fine without any interaction, especially from people I hate.
Yeah. No, I try and avoid those as much as possible. Well, I mean, oh man, I don't want my life to be like that. I don't want to be.
I just want some small human interaction. Even if it's with someone I hate.
I like being introverted and isolated, but not to the point where I start missing people I despise.
I
I don't want to get to that level. I'll let you know if I feel like I'm getting there, Greg, and you can come slap me out of it.
Yeah.
So
I'm starting to think I want to hang out with all the people I hate rather than you and Ed.
yeah,
What?
it's like you
Why?
guys are great and stuff, but
Great human
I
interaction
just
is
feel like
fine.
I feel like hatred is going to provide me with so much more.
I feel like hatred's the way forward, is what I'm thinking. That makes sense, doesn't it?
Hatred is the new black.
Sounds healthy. Yeah, healthy.
It's really in this fall.
Owen sent a geese drop, which might actually be one of my favourite geese drop lines I've heard.
Oh, really?
I think it's quite
Strong.
I think it's quite profound.
That is a bold statement.
No
Greg.
context. So obviously he just heard someone saying this, but the geese drop follows as: love doesn't last forever. Dad lives in the basement.
What? What?
Love
Oh
doesn't
no, I kind of
last
get that.
forever.
Yeah, no, I kind of get that.
Dad lives in the basement.
Wow.
As if they've split up and he's living in the basement.
So
I
he's
think it's quite
he's
profound.
still in the house, but he's been moved to the basement.
Yeah.
That's bleak.
Relegated to the basement.
I find
it's quite profound.
I find that more bleak than Stu's one. In all honesty, that is. I mean,
Love
don't get me
doesn't
wrong.
last forever. Dad lives in the basement.
Ever since the days of
washing machine.
Home Improvement, I've wanted to live in a basement.
Oh yeah. Since Home Improvement.
It looks good in there. Just having a basement, just convert it out. Just your own.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
basements are very common in UK households. So
No.
the dream.
Pretty big in America.
The dream moves on.
Pretty big in America. Another Sam Geese drop. What a bunch of robbing cunts. I'm never gonna Costa again. Costa shot down there. I mean, what would it take for me to accuse Costa of being robbing cunts? I mean, I'm only buying a coffee.
The cost?
I do need to call up Bentals. I bought Indiana something yesterday from the toy shop in Bentals, and when I got home, I realised they charged me for it twice.
Ooh.
And I did think at the time, I bought 3 things, but I did think at the time, wow, I don't think it should be that much money. But I was chatting to the woman, so I get paid for it.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I got home and looked at the receipt, because I've been obviously drinking during the day of Callum, that I looked at the receipt and I was just like, oh my god, you charged me twice for it. So I need to call them up or go up, probably go there. Excuse
Go in
me.
there.
Excuse me, I purchased an item yesterday and you've charged me twice. I demand compensation.
You gotta,
I demand an apology. I demand freebies. I'm going to go to the papers with this.
Yeah. Give him
And then
the
when she
hell
puts
that
her
you
hand up to
received.
say sorry. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I couldn't sleep last night because of this. My
Um,
anxiety's been playing up because of it.
I assume you're going to take the toy back with you to prove that you only had one.
Well, I was thinking about that, but I was like, does that make sense?
Well, I mean,
It's
I
like,
don't think you
even
can
if
just.
I had two, it's like a wooden crate full of pretend food you cut up.
Oh,
But,
shit.
It's a bit
Oh,
of
that's a bit-
faff.
yeah, that
And
is a
she's
bit
been
of a
playing
faff.
with it. But why would I buy 2 of them? Like,
Yeah.
surely they can look at their CCTV or count how many they have left in stock. Like,
That's
surely
a
they're
good
going to be
point.
+1.
That's a good point.
You know. Anyway, they charged me twice, bastards. Not having it. Right, sorry.
Is there any? Was there any
Thieving
more?
cants! Thieving cants!
Sam had
right.
another one as well.
Yep. His balls must be as big as footballs. A kid on the train said that.
Did he?
Big old balls.
I wonder who he was talking about.
Another one
Old-
from Sam.
old
Another
big ball-
round of
Big bollock Terry
Oh.
over there.
oh, big bollock Terry. Another round of the stupidest things that kids say. College kids at the train station.
Love it.
They're what I would call elite humans. I imagine they're talking.
I
about
remember
TikTokers.
I remember him writing that one because then I wrote back and said, "I hope they were talking about the Nazis."
Yeah, I reckon they're talking about TikTokers.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I would call them elite humans.
Elite humans. Jesus Christ.
Release the elite humans.
They're probably talking about one of those TikTok houses.
Yeah. Let's go stay in the TikTok houses. Elite humans.
I'd love to go and stay there, but only just so during the night I could stab them all in the throat.
Stab them.
Just
So Tree sent us this. Hello, chaps. How the devil are we? Geese dropped from Marks and Sparks of all places. One of the employees was hoovering the floor around the shop with a backpack-style hoover. A child around the age of 10 ran up to him and sang, "When there's something strange in the neighbourhood, who you gonna call?" The employee looked perplexed when 4 people in the queue, including Tree, shouted, "Ghostbusters!"
Yeah.
I was very proud of the level of public participation, and the fact that 10-year-old boy knew Ghostbusters gives me faith for the young generation.
That is fucking good. That's up there.
That is good.
That's up there. That's a top 3.
That is good.
That's a top 3 geese drop right there.
Fucking just everyone screaming Ghostbusters, getting involved, having a fun.
Hell yeah.
Having fun.
I bet that kid must have fucking lost his mind.
Oh yeah, fucking hell. Oh, can I have a go on the Hoover on the back, please?
Yes,
fucking
please.
Full on fucking Ghostbuster. Yeah, so there are your geese drops.
Great
Nice
stuff.
little man of geese drops.
Thanks.
there.
Thank you again. Thank you again, guys. That's some absolutely
Thanks to everyone.
wonderful listening you're
Thank
doing
you.
there.
Yeah, thanks everyone for sending them in. Swiftly moving on. Until next time. Before we get too deep into this, I want to bring up this story first before me and you start sharing our opinions and such. Mm-hmm. Did you see they've had to do a re-edit to Squid Games? For those who obviously, if you don't know what Squid Games is right now, I don't understand how. Even if you don't watch it, you can't not know what it is.
It
It's
is
literally
as we
everywhere.
speak. As we speak, it is the most watched show in 90 different countries.
It's like number 1 in 90 different countries, right? It's insane.
90 different
Like,
countries. And as someone rightly pointed out, with no major A-list stars in or outside of Korean film. Like,
No.
amazing.
No, yeah.
Oh, that's fucking
Absolutely.
amazing. That's like, you're so good.
Yeah.
Korean
show.
Yeah, phenomenal. Great stuff. What was the original question?
Before we get into it, there wasn't a question. I asked if people knew who Squid Games was, but have you seen they've had to re-edit it because
there was
of the phone number?
Well, I've seen 2 different things. I've seen the phone number, which was very visible.
Yeah.
So on the calling card, the number that they have to call,
Yeah, has a number
is a
to call.
legitimate number. But also, I saw that they, without giving too much away, there was like a bank account number that was also
Right.
real.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And people have been putting
Wow,
money in
didn't
it. Like, they're fucking maniacs.
Wow.
Like, I read that
is
as well. I was
crazy.
just like, that's fucking stupid.
That's mental. That's crazy.
But yes, I did. I heard that someone had been receiving, the owner of said number, phone number, had been receiving many calls. I'm assuming from people saying, "I would like to play."
After Squid Games aired, I've been receiving calls and texts endlessly 24/7 to the point that it's hard for me to go on with my daily life. The owner of the number told Koreaboo in an interview, "This is a number that I've used for more than 10 years, so I'm quite taken aback. There are more than 4,000 numbers that I've had to delete from my phone, and it's to the point where it's due to people reaching out without a sense of day and time due to the curiosity of my phone's battery being drained and turns off." So she basically just gets phones just dying and turning off. In the US, some productions intentionally promote a real-life number to go along with their marketing plans,
Interesting.
knowing people will try and call it, such as Better Call Saul, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
But according to the Kaboo interview, the unfortunate incident was accidental, as the Squid Game creators thought that removing the first 3 digits of the number would render it unusable. However, they were unaware that if a number was dialed as a local call, those numbers would be automatically added, allowing anyone to reach its owner.
Fuck, man.
The stress from the insistent prank calls is driving me crazy.
I mean,
not
that would do you
surprised.
nothing, wouldn't
That-
it?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I-
But especially if you've not. I mean, she hadn't watched it. It was literally her friend noticed it
Yeah.
and told her. Oh, I think you're getting all these calls. I'm pretty sure your phone number's on this TV show I was just watching.
Because I ignore 92% of the phone calls that come through on my phone.
Oh, likewise, yeah.
We're not the friendship of you, me, and Ed is not a phone call based friendship.
No, not at all.
In times of need, obviously, but like it's
Yes.
yeah, it's very very rare that we speak actually on the phone for as
Yeah.
much as we do speak.
Yeah.
But yeah, I fuck it. It would stress you out, wouldn't you? If you got like thousands.
My phone ringing once stresses me out.
Yeah.
Oh God, who is it? What's happened? Oh God, something's
Awful.
gone wrong.
Or it's like, you know,
I'm
when
always
you like,
stressed out.
if you start a new job or something, and there's all these phone numbers calling you that you don't recognise, and you have to pick them up because they might be
yeah.
work related.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah, I hate those feelings. But that's crazy, man. So they're going to re-edit it now, so they don't keep. Hopefully,
Yeah,
remove a
so
number.
I think it's blurred now, isn't it, or something?
Yeah, it seems a bit
Or
late
it just,
in the day now.
I
though.
want it to still be there. I want it to still be very, very visible, but just underneath in brackets it says, "Do not ring this number."
Do not ring this number. Yeah. The subtitles come up saying, "Do not ring number" at the bottom. So yeah, Squid Games. Have you finished Squid Games?
I did, yeah, did it in 2 days.
Right. Nice,
Because I'd seen, I started, I was aware of it. When it was before it had been released, I'd seen the advertisement on like Lad Bible or some shit, and I was just like, oh, that looks like Battle Royale or Takeshi's Castle. Oh, that looks quite fun.
Yeah.
And then before I even had a chance to watch it, it had just blown up. Like everywhere, like all the social media, all the fucking memes, all the people doing like TikTok videos, like they're playing red light, green light and shit. It just went fucking
That's
crazy.
going to be Halloween this year. It's all going to be Squid Games Halloween
That's
this year,
all
I'm
I've been
telling you.
seeing is just adverts. I saw an advert saying Amazon has restocked Squid Game things, and that's
Tracksuits
great
stuff,
because
yeah.
that now I hope people get shot just for being. I was just like, oh, so I thought they were playing the game, man. Sorry, yeah. Soz. But yeah, it's
So you did it in 2 days. Wow.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, so
And what were there? 9 episodes?
I think I want to say 8. No, maybe it was 9. I think it was.
I'm saying. Yeah. Okay.
I can't remember.
I'm checking now. Don't worry.
But I did. Yeah, so episode like 1 to 6, I did in a night.
And they're like an hour long, right? An episode,
It
aren't they?
varies. So, like, I think, like, one of the, like, episode 7 was only a half hour long, but, like, the majority of them were an hour and, like, a proper hour as well. Not, like, an hour with the adverts, like, removed, so it's actually 45 minutes. It
Yeah,
was
9
a proper
episodes.
fucking
9
hour.
episodes.
Yeah, so I did the first 6 episodes in one sitting, and then finished it off the next day. Got really into it. I found like I found like the first episode, as I do with most things, a bit slow. I thought it was going to jump straight into. I thought literally every episode was going to be like a new game they're playing.
Yeah.
But then obviously that wouldn't have made sense because it was only 6 games, so they had kind of spread shit out. But I thought it was great. I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah, so I wanted to watch it. I heard a lot of people talking about it. I knew Lizzie wouldn't want to watch it, so it became one of those again. So I haven't been able to watch The Bill recently because I've got so many shows stacking up now that I know Lizzie doesn't want to watch, so I'm having to watch them when she goes to bed.
Oh, dear.
Like, so,
Don't worry,
and it's
Greg.
too late,
The bill has been around long enough, and I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I think like you're not going to lose out.
I mean, I will return to it for the moment. I finished, but I did Squid Games. I started watching it one night. I think I watched 2 episodes or 1.5 episodes. Then the next day, one day I was working from home. I think Lizzie was working from home, and my basically I had to work downstairs because Lizzie was home, so my internet wasn't working upstairs. And I think I just had it on while I was working on the laptop.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I watched the rest of it in
Yeah.
either one go or I watched the last episode like the next day. So I did it over like 2 or 3 days. I struggled with it quite hard at first. I found it quite boring.
Yeah,
I
you
liked
said.
the game stuff. And I almost bailed on it a few times. It probably wasn't until the lights out fight that happens in episode 4.
Oh yeah.
Like when they all kind of turn, spoilers, they all kind of turn on each other when the lights go out. You know,
Yeah,
there's that
just the
big
general.
fucking brawl.
There is some fear that's instilled within them, and they kind of sort of know it's all going to happen. And it's just kind of like they're building up to it, to the moment of this sort of in the dark fight. But it is again just literally.
Yeah, and it's cool, a really cool scene.
Yeah.
I mean, there were bits I liked before that point, but it just wasn't really grabbing me. It's just strange. I thought I'd be like, oh, this is great, but it just, you know what it is? It's when it's not in the game, when it's in their lives. Those shows are always just a bit. They go really round the houses of really random like threads, like story threads and stuff, and just like him back home for those couple episodes after the first bit. I'm just like, now they're back home again.
I did find that bit a little bit weird, just to be like, I mean, obviously there's like the rules of it and stuff. Like if there's enough voted, they can leave and shit. But it was like, it did seem weird. It's like, why would you, like, you're in this, and yeah, it's fucking horrible, but why would you leave just to then go back? I mean, unless it's just like the realization of just like, yeah, this is.
They pretty much like half of them go back, right?
Pretty much. I think there's only a small amount that don't, but the majority. I mean, obviously all the key characters do and stuff.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, that was a bit weird. And then it's again, it was just like a full, and then all of them obviously make the decision. I tell you, there is that one shot though that I really, really liked, and it was like 6 of the main characters who decided to leave and then go back, and it's all of them waiting for the cars to come and collect them.
It's
like
cool.
it cuts between, but it's all the same. It's all the same like camera angle shot.
Split screen. Like,
mate, it looks so good. It looks so good, and like I really enjoyed some of the.
It was very well shot.
It was, I liked the cinematography of it.
Yeah, it was shot great. I really liked the look of it. I liked the feel of it. It just took a while for me to get going.
Sure.
And it wasn't really until episode 4 where I was like, oh shit. And then was kind of like in it.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, usually with some shows, 4 episodes is usually my. If I'm not into it by 4 episodes, I'm out, you know? And I wasn't, even if I didn't like episode 4 as much, by this point I was committed to seeing how it was going to end.
Yeah, of course.
So I watched it. I really enjoyed it. I just struggled it to get going at the beginning. I mean, it's quite funny because beforehand, me and you were talking about it, and you started watching it, and I hadn't. And I was telling you, how Lizzie wouldn't want to watch it, and you were like, "Oh, it's not really that violent or gory." Like, and then I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." But then watching it, I'm like, man, what do we measure gore and violence against? Because literally just watch the guy get like trampled to death, or just watch the guy get like fucking shot trying to play a kid's game straight away at the beginning, and there's bodies everywhere. Like, we're just like, not that violent or gory. I suppose it wasn't really gory, apart from there was a few operation scenes.
There was some operation scenes,
but they left a lot, obviously, opened because the undercover police officer, again, spoilers, I'm not going to keep saying it, we will be spoiling it.
Yeah, all the way through there's spoilers.
The undercover officer gets shot, and they made a big point of doing the old you saw he got shot in the shoulder, and then fell off a cliff and splashed into water, which you all know means he's obviously not dead.
No, classic. It's
like that's a classic,
it's like EastEnders, isn't it? Or Dirty Den.
Yeah. I even did it to Ritz in the first radio play. He gets shot
true.
and falls out a window and lands in water. It's a classic move.
If Squid Game hadn't been written 10 years prior, I would have suggested they maybe listen to the radio play and got some hints.
It's a classic move. So
did you read that about like?
So
how
he's
long
obviously still
the script. How like the script was literally written in like 2011, and it took like 10 years to actually get anyone to pay attention to it.
Oh yeah, I can believe that. So that's going on. So I lost track of what I was saying. Where was I? Where was
the cop getting shot.
Cop's on the cover, he gets shot, so that was all left open because that wasn't revisited, and obviously he did send that stuff to his chief, didn't he?
Yeah.
And his phone, he sent it, so he's got information out there and stuff. So he's obviously that still, I imagine, will be picked up in a second season. That thread.
I think there was already talk of the second season being in. I guess I think it's being in debate. Why can't I talk, Greg? In the mix as well.
I don't know. In the mix.
I think it's in the mix
In the
at the moment,
mix.
or like pre-production or something. But I do believe a second
makes
series.
sense.
Which, I mean, it like they have to. It's like this is going to be like one of the most popular Netflix shows. They've got to take advantage of it, isn't it? It's like when Orange is the New Black came out. They banged out seasons of that. So that's why everyone got really bored of it already all of a sudden. But
I mean, like, it'd be interesting to see. I like the masks, I like the design, I like the set design, I like the rec room they stay in.
The set design was so cool. Like
I like
all the stairs leading up to the games and stuff.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Awesome.
Like, it looked great. What was your favourite game they played?
Oh man, I like the annoying thing was before I started watching it. Obviously, I saw the red light, green light that got ruined for me by social media. That also ended up kind of being the reason everyone watched it as well. Absolutely,
was that scene.
Yeah, no, it did. It definitely did them favors. But I was just like, oh man, this would have been good seeing it for the first time, not in a 45-second clip. That was pretty cool. I did like the concept that it was all just kids' game, like the intro when they actually explained what Squid Game was, and obviously that was going to be the last game they play. The best game, I think it was the honeycomb. I think potentially the honeycomb.
Oh really? Wow.
Because
that stressed me out.
It was stressy. But like. Again, there was just like parts. Oh no, you know what? No, I tell a lie. The glass bridge. Glass bridge was really good.
I was leaning towards my favourite probably being the glass bridge or tug of war.
Tug of war was also good. Yeah, I like the tactics where they're all just going fucking mental. Did you watch it? Did you watch it dubbed or did you watch with like subtitles?
A bit of both. So when I was working, when I started watching it, I watched it subtitled, and then when I was working the next day, I couldn't watch it and work at the same time because I couldn't keep reading the subtitles.
Yeah.
So I had to switch to dubbed while I was working. So I kind of did it a bit of both, which I suppose is a bit bad because it's fractured relating to how the characters sound in my eyes. But
it is. No, you know what though?
Too much.
I think accidentally I watched the first 2 episodes dubbed. And then realised there was the option to change it to Korean because I thought it was just Netflix being ignorant. And then I switched over, and it wasn't like the voice actors they got were actually very good at portraying the emotions that the people were feeling. In the scene. It wasn't too bad.
Oh no, but there is a whole thing about how it's not very well translated, is it? Like both versions, I think subtitled and the audio version. You can look it up. There's something that's like they basically tried. From what I understand, they tried to like dub it so it fit the movements of mouths.
Yeah.
As opposed to what they're actually saying. That makes sense.
That does. Yeah, no, I know.
So they didn't want there to be a voiceover happening while their mouths weren't moving.
It was almost it seemed more synchronized.
So they kind of tweaked the dubbing so it would fit with the movement of the mouse, which meant they had to change the wording slightly. So apparently the translation isn't actually that. It kind of misses huge points of the scenes.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Well, there's no way around it. I think the subtitles have a similar issue as well.
No, I think I did. I was watching it, and then when I switched, it was because it's better for like the more sort of like serious or heartfelt moments. It was way better to have the subtitles on and hear the actual like Korean voices, and it just suited it way better. Some
of those screams and stuff in it, like some like the screams.
As you mentioned in like obviously the lights out fight. There is some. There is probably some of the more horrific moments in that.
Because they're first seeing it for the first time, aren't they?
Fuck, like, and it is, and again, it is literally just entertainment for the guards. Like, it's just mental. But
I loved it when that girl took that guy down on the glass bridge. Yeah, when she just wraps her arms around him and just almost. I was like, whoa,
you know what though?
shit.
I love that bad guy with the fucking snake tattoo on his face. I really liked. He was like a proper arsehole, but I did.
Yeah,
I did like
he
him.
was a proper arsehole. He was a proper arsehole.
Yeah, it was just I mean, his demise was great, but also it was just like he was top dickhead.
He was a dick there because he's like, I'm not going forward.
But that's it as well, because obviously he had the connection with. I'm only going to say I can't remember their names because I'm not illiterate, but I'm just not savvy enough with Korean names. But the girl, number 67, I believe, was her number.
Yeah.
The bit where they're playing red light, green light, and she's behind him. And she just grabs his hair and it's just like, I can move you. And he's just like, don't fuck around. And he's and then when the light goes green, she just yanks him back. Like, it's so good, man. I think she was my favourite character in the entire thing. Like, number 67.
Yeah, it was sad when she met her demise later on.
Yeah.
Because I thought she was going to go a bit further. I say that she was like the second to last episode. So I'm sure at some point America can't let anyone else have that. So I'm sure there'll be in a remake of Squid Games, American version.
I wouldn't want to see it. But, I'm not interested.
No, nor would I. But if they were going to make an actual, this real thing existed, and they were going to bring it to UK, and you signed up to do Squid Games for real, what kind of British games did you think you would expect to see in an English Squid Games?
I have been thinking about this, and obviously
6 games. We've got to do 6 games.
Game number 1 has got to be What's the Time, Mr. Wolf?
I was thinking about that
because
as well.
It's basically the same game.
It's green light, red light. Yeah.
But the only thing,
dinner time.
But instead of them getting shot, Mr. Wolf turns around and it's an actual wolf. So you get eaten by wolves if you get caught by Mr. Wolf. I thought about that. I thought, what else did I think about?
British Bulldog
or Stuck in the Mud.
Oh yeah, Stuck in
the Mud where you had to crawl through the person's legs to get them unstuck?
Yeah, but you'd stand with your arms out,
right.
Your legs open, wasn't it?
Right.
And you crawled under their legs to set them free.
That's right.
Yeah. I remember that. British Bulldog, I thought would be a good one when you just got to obviously run through.
That'd be sick.
Basically from one end of the field to the other.
Yeah.
With blockers, like essentially is what you got to do.
That's it. It was like the Gladiator Gauntlet.
Yeah, and that could be pretty. That could have potentially some horrific deaths, especially if they do it on like an edge.
Oh, some casualties. Oh my god, yes.
Yes. Maybe the middle halfway line is also a drop. I don't like.
No, I like that. That's good. Yeah, some little elements in there like that. That'd be good. Egg and spoon race.
Egg and spoon race.
Oh, I did think, when they play marbles, which is, by the way, in regards to like emotionally, it's the worst game. Because everyone pairs pairs themselves up thinking they're going to be together, like pairing, and then it's just like, oh, you're going against each other, and it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, it was really
that guy. That guy's, his partner was his wife.
Mate, that's so sad. Watching that, that's so bleak afterwards. Only seeing him there, and it's just like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, that is a real It although it's quite late in the show, that's a real turning point where it's just like, this is a bleak fucking game, man.
And when he obviously tricks his mate, doesn't he? After he loses the main dude, but after he loses the game, he tricks
Ali,
the
man.
dude into
fucking Ali.
Ali, that's it. Yeah, Ali, and then Ali comes back at the end, and he's like, "I've got them. Hello."
It's
hello.
so
And then
sad.
he's like,
it's so
obviously
so
and then he checks the
sad.
bag, and he's been tricked, and it's like, oh, he's tricked you, bruv. Oh no,
so fucking sad. It's really
sad.
bad, and it is. But again, it's the element they take away the element of teamwork, and it's just like, oh no, by the way, no, you're going against each other. Any element of team that you had in your mind is completely out the window. But I did think instead of marbles, we could play Go-Go's. Do you remember Go-Go's?
Go-Go's, yeah.
Everyone's got
Pogs.
Go-Go's or Pogs, yeah. Just take it. There's 90s
Pogs
games.
with razor blades. I was thinking, actually, the game at school when you used to have to flick the 2p into your knuckles and try and make each other bleed.
Or coin football.
Yeah, but it would you literally just fire the 2p into someone's knuckles, and then they did it to you, then they got a shot back to you.
Yeah.
And it was whoever bled less or bled the most. Like, that would be a pretty good one. Again, with like maybe a razored edge coin.
I like the idea. Do you remember the slap game where you did like you had your hands together facing
Yeah,
each other? And you had to,
yeah.
I feel like that might be a potential.
Do that, and you can do that on a glass podium, like 50 feet
a glass
in the air.
podium with your hands wrapped in sandpaper.
Yeah. Yeah, you could do like a rock paper. You could do like a rock paper scissors.
Yeah,
with like,
man.
Like you know, but when you actually get beat, that is what your demise is. So if someone does eventually get done by like the rock, then literally a massive rock.
I'd choose
falls
paper
on.
every time. I'd choose paper every time.
Thinking, yeah, but that'll be the twist. Someone will be like, oh, I'm just gonna go with paper every time, and then they end up getting killed by like just loads of paper cuts.
They cut my throat with a paper cut until my
just
head's
over and over again.
Like, this is
Loads of
actually
little
this is
snippets
terrible.
of paper
I'll
cuts
take
coming out all over you.
I choose rock. It'll be like
I'll take the rock, please.
It'll be like that film where there are all the kids on the island and that one kid gets the rock dropped on his head.
What? Oh, the Flies.
Yeah, Lord of the Flies. There we go.
Lord of the Flies. Yeah, that film where it's like Joe describes kids' books badly. That one when the kid gets a thing on his head.
So how many?
Right. There's
how many
another
games?
one
How
with
many
a
games have we
postman.
got here?
The good mood postman. We've got we've got. What's the first one you said? What's the time, Mr. Wolf?
What's the time, Mr. Wolf?
And then, so do we then go for what goes next?
I would say
Obviously, we've got-
Bulldog, because Bulldog's a similar sort of game, so I'm saying Bulldog like third game.
Okay, so then what we going second?
Um,
We should go for more of an intimate one. So you were saying like go with the go-go's or the coin knuckle bashing.
yeah.
I think go like that for a second, then go British Bulldog.
Could you think about the elements of the game? So like their first game is everyone's on the same team. And then, but then you've got things like obviously tug of war, where they're like, okay, split into teams of like 8 or 10 or whatever it was, and then you've got it like so it always sort of varies. So I don't know what else. I mean, I think the
It's a British Bulldog. You'd split because you would have blockers
It's teams, isn't
as
it?
well as runners.
it's
So you
teams.
are against each other.
Yeah. So I mean, what's the time, Mr. Wolf's perfect because it is literally the first game anyway.
yeah.
So should we say Bulldog takes tug of war instead? So maybe Bulldog's actually seconds because then it involves two sets of teams.
Okay. Yeah.
I reckon coin knuckles would be later on because that's a 1-on-1 sort of like game.
That's true. That is a 1-on-1. Yeah. That's a 1-on-1.
I reckon the final game should just be shin kicking.
Oh,
Just kicking.
God.
It's an old farmer's game
Just
for some
peanuts.
reason.
Just peanuts.
Just peanuts.
Peanuts.
Just tugging the tie until your head comes off.
Oh man, I was trying to think of it. You got like, I don't want to go for stuff like floor is lava because that's quite American.
Yeah. Fun game, but
But they could do it with real lava.
They could do it real lava. Oh yeah, all that lava we got flowing around England. Yeah, loads
Yeah,
of
or
it.
some sort of heat, liquid.
I feel like what about
A really
like
hot soup.
I did think about things like knockdown ginger, but I don't think
Oh, I was thinking about not done ginger, but I was like, again, how would that be?
how would that even work?
Yeah.
That was more of a
I don't
prank
think
than a
Knockdown
game.
Ginger would be as successful.
No.
Yeah, I think Stuck in the Mud could go in there because that could literally be in mud,
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
and they slowly get stuck. Like when they get stuck, they almost like quicksand into it.
Yeah. They get to like a certain
Horrible,
point.
horrible way to go.
Yeah, I don't really
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
die by the elements of the earth. In all honesty, if
No, or it's some sort of game along these lines.
I'm telling you now, I'm not surviving. I'm not surviving Squid Game.
They'll be like, they could do like chess, but like you are the pieces yourself.
Oh, that's
And
good.
when you get checkmate, the square just opens and you just drop.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah,
I like
I'd say
that a lot.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
We'll stick a life-size game of chess in there.
And then obviously, just instead of the weird little betting game they play on the train station, it's just Pokemon cards.
Yeah, I didn't get that game. You just got to like,
You've got to make it
the right
flip.
way up or something.
Yeah, but I think it's I
Right,
don't know.
okay.
I don't know what the elements are of it, but yeah. I did. I tell you, the one thing I didn't like as well was just his. I mean, it's not really a spoiler, but the red hair at the end of it. It was just like, it's so shit.
It's a very Korean-y sort of anime thing to do, though.
Oh, but it was so shit.
I can't say it bothered me too much. I wouldn't say it bothered me too much. Him having red hair.
I mean, maybe I'm not getting like the significance of the red hair and the connection of it to the entire show, but
Well, maybe I'm missing it too, but yeah, I wouldn't say it bothered me too much. He was a good character, the lead. I actually quite liked him. He was a good lead character. Like,
all the main characters though really did, despite even the ones who were villainous or conniving bastards. I liked all of the characters in the main.
I did
the main
clock
sort of
a few,
ones.
like very early on. I was like, oh, the old man's behind it. Like the first couple of episodes, I was like, well, the old man's behind it because why do we keep seeing him?
Old man's, yeah,
like,
and why is he
he's
still
definitely
alive?
behind it. Like,
I did like that whole.
I did almost
ending
second guess it with that scene when he's like, "Stop fighting, I'm scared."
Yeah,
when the whole fight happens, and he pissed. Then I was like, "Oh, maybe he's not. Maybe he's not behind it." And then a second later, I was like, "Nah, he is."
Yeah, it was it. Yeah, it was pretty. It became pretty clear pretty early on. I mean, as soon as he pretty much survived the first game, I think it was just like, okay, well, this guy's a fucking plant.
Yeah. Now all my like social media and stuff, all the adverts now are not even just Halloween costumes, but just like the paper masks that they wear.
Yeah.
The main guy, the frontman, all his, and all the masks that have the circle, they're like the PlayStation signs, right? It's like square,
it looked like it,
circle.
Yeah. I think the only one that isn't on there is like X.
Yeah.
It's like circle, square, and triangle.
I actually did quite like those helmets.
They look, I mean, it all looks amazing. Like the head, like the front man, his mask, where it's all kind of sort of like a rigid, like a diamond. It looked really cool.
It's almost like it's like those geometric paper masks you can get.
Yeah.
They all look like that.
But yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of. I'm glad I won't be going out for Halloween this year, as there's going to be a lot of unoriginality. And I feel like you could walk into a pub and it would look like you could play Squid Game, but no one knows.
Because
just start stabbing people in the dark.
Everyone's going to be in the same tracksuits with the numbers on it.
They're just like, mate, you can't accumulate that many people in an area and not expect me to start putting people in games.
Shooting. Well, we're going to start playing some games. Extreme tiddlywinks, everyone.
Just go up to a group of them and just be like,
extreme tiddlywinks.
Just be like, if you move, I'm gonna shoot you. It's like, I'm at the bar, mate. So, yeah.
Green light. Yeah, that was rare.
Yeah, green light.
I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it'd be interesting to see. It would be interesting to see if they would do other country versions, but not remakes, just like the game happening across the world.
It would be interesting to see the other games, because obviously although the games are very sort of well known, it would be interesting to see what other countries would have games, because there might be more traditional games in different countries and stuff like that. Like you go to Australia, it will be just like pick up a snake.
Because you assume that they're different games, because they mention how this isn't the first Squid Games.
No,
it's been going on for a while,
quite some time.
But they must do different games, because when the VIPs come, they talk as if they've seen more than one of these Squid Games. They're like, "Oh, what's that?" When they see the model of the glass bridge, so they obviously hadn't seen that game before, so they must do new games.
Yeah. Makes sense. I loved how, so when all the VIPs turned up and they're all sort of like from the Western world, I love how shit they were at acting. Their acting was so shit.
Oh yeah. They
were the shittest actors in the entire thing. So fucking awful. It was just like they were just told just to turn up and be American.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
No, they did fucking nail it. Good job, Team America. You fucking nailed it.
Yeah, I feel like there's definitely a lot of there's a lot of chances. There's a lot of opportunity for a second series.
Do you feel you would have survived, or how far do you think you would have gone? How far do you think you might have gone?
I like to think.
I don't think I would have got past the fucking making the sign in the fucking
Oh, in the
biscuit
honeycomb.
tin,
Yeah,
like-
no. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, if you'd
honeycomb.
chosen like triangle, you might have been okay. But I mean, we're not familiar
Yeah.
with like honeycomb treats, so we don't really.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not
yeah,
really
yeah.
sure what to do with that. I like to think I would have survived the first game.
Yeah,
that
me
would have been
too.
that would have been nice.
Yeah.
But you just never know. I don't know. I don't think I understand how still I can be or not be. I probably reckon I probably would have if I'd made it past those. I reckon Tug of War probably would have got me.
Tug of War is a tough one to watch because that's when you're like, "Fuck, man!" Like when the first load went over the edge,
Yeah.
and then you just hear them all just like,
Comp.
and the worst part for me, I thought was actually cool but really dark, was when they come in to collect all the bodies, put them in those big like not even coffins, they're like big presents,
Yeah.
and then like incinerates all the bodies.
Yeah.
But the worst is when they're putting people in there, they're still alive. Like in the
yeah,
first
yeah,
few
yeah.
episodes, you hear people still being like, "Oh," when they're being put in the boxes and taken to be incinerated.
You
Like,
hear
they're
that
not even
horrible
dead
like
yet.
struggling to breathe sound where they're just like.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just like, that's not, mate.
Yeah.
That I've heard a death rattle and it's too fucking similar. I don't like it.
No. There was a couple after in the Tug of War where I didn't really hear them, but you saw them up on the bridge and you could see a couple of people like moving a bit, like
Yeah.
fallen, and it would just make me just like, ugh, God,
And
that's
then,
horrible.
of course, as well, like
That's a
those, like
fucking
the
nasty fall.
ones that were still slightly alive were sent off to the secret surgery room, which was not. I wish that was maybe explained slightly a bit more.
Yeah, so it wasn't even the game doing it, was it? It was just like the guards
Yeah.
decided to start selling organs.
Wasn't they decided to ship off organs to like China?
Yeah.
for a profit, which was just bizarre. In all honesty,
With the doctor who was in the game,
And they
but then
were
the
feeding
frontman
him
found
clues.
out, and then the frontman found out and was like, "Oh, we're not about that."
no.
And then like they're all hanging in that room, aren't they?
It's
when they
like
come in?
it's like a little,
the doctor
it's like a
and-
horrible child's mobile. They're all just there, just like.
Yeah, they're all hanging. Their arms are all fucking weird, like, and they're just hung up to be taught a lesson.
I liked.
Yeah,
I
that,
did
that is a weird. That was a weird
side plot thing. Like, I mean, it does.
Yeah.
It like it entwined with the rest of the plot and stuff, but it wasn't one I didn't really give a shit about when people were mentioning surgery and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was. I liked how they used like music to instigate certain things. So, like, obviously, when they heard that one piece of music, they were like, "Oh god, a game's gonna start!" Like,
Yeah. The whole setup of it, the way it was orchestrated, the room they sleep in, the way it works, the game will start in. All that I loved. I thought that was.
Amazing.
I like all that aspect.
I like, and it's all
overall,
really cheery as well. It's all really cheerful. Like, this is like fun.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, it took.
It's like-
So I was a little bit slower getting into it, but I was always going to finish it, and I was really into it by the end, to the point where I was like, I kind of wish there was another episode. Mm-hmm. It did have a bit of a Lord of the Rings ending though, when it ended like 10 times in that last episode.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a good ending. Oh no, it's still going.
I really thought
no,
like.
okay.
I really thought the main guy was gonna like obviously with winning all the money again. Like, can't stress enough. Spoilers. Just I'll write it on the artwork.
Yeah.
I just like this is gonna be a spoiler
Spoilers.
heavy.
Spoiler games.
Spoiler games. Yeah, I did think like because he seemed quite down about like winning. I mean, obviously, yeah, he wins and then it's for nothing basically because his mum fucking dies. And it's
exactly.
just brutal.
Yeah, like
it's
dead
so
by the time
brutal.
he gets home. By the time he leaves, she's already dead, right? He goes
Yeah.
home and finds her dead, right?
Finds her dead, yeah, and it's just like, oh, that like that really fucking like broke my heart. I was just like, no, for nothing.
Yeah.
And then you just sort of like see him like a year later or whatever, and he's all fucking like looking like a homeless man.
Yeah, because he hasn't touched the money, has he?
Yeah. I genuinely thought he was just going to give it away or something. Like, and I was just like, no, don't do that. Like, I didn't want that to be like the comeuppance of the end. But then obviously there's the whole bit with the old man returning and stuff. So yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, that was all a weird ending.
It was, but you knew it was going to happen, didn't you? I mean, you knew, like, as soon as you realised that the old man was fucking behind the games, it was just like, you kind of, and I just,
Yeah.
he's just like, I like that he was just like, playing that game was the most alive I've ever felt. Yeah.
Why? Yeah, really good. Really enjoyed it. That's one of the episodes that That's one of the shows that Lizzie was like, she didn't really watch it.
Yeah.
The other one I've been watching, now that's finished, I went straight onto that Midnight Mass.
I'm yet to start that, but I will be.
It's good. I'm really enjoying it.
Look.
I'm really enjoying it. It's not. I thought for some reason it was to do with the guy. What's his name? Azari, who did Hereditary and Midsummer. I thought it was a guy that did those two films, but it's not. It's Mike Flanagan, the guy that did the Haunted House shows.
Right. Okay.
So it's there was the Haunting of the first series that was actually pretty good.
The Haunting of Connecticut.
What's that one called? No, the series on Netflix, The Haunting of something Manor.
Yeah.
That not Blythe Manor, whatever it's called, was that the second series that wasn't very good? Blythe House or whatever it was. I watched 2 episodes and stopped watching it because it was boring. But the first series, which was The Haunting of whatever, was actually really quite a really good, quite tense series. It had all the ghost children hid around the back of it and stuff. So it's the guy that did that, but this is it's more scary for me because it's religion always scares me.
Sure.
Like religion scares me more than ghosts and stuff. And this Midnight Mass is heavily the creepy side of religion.
Yeah.
Like obviously there's paranormal and supernatural elements going on as well, but it's more just the way this little remote island falls for this priest in such a way that it almost rejuvenates the church on this little island, and people who didn't believe start believing because it's so intense. And it just really you just quickly see the escalation. It's almost like cultness, how quick the whole island rallies around this priest, and he basically will let him now get away with everything he wants because he's the priest. It's kind of how I imagine it is in all the little
it's like a cult
in Italy.
I like that, or like a cult. It's like a cult. But annoyingly, although I haven't watched it, annoyingly TikTok has been showing me clips of it, so I've been seeing bits that are much further ahead in the series. That are quite important, and I think I nearly ruined for you, so I shut up quite immediately.
Oh yeah, you said you're like, I've only seen this clip, and I was like, I haven't seen that happen yet,
mate, because I
don't
also
see
remembered
this stuff on TikTok.
I also remembered what else happened in that clip, which is a vital point, which I did not share with you.
Excellent.
But yeah,
Thank you.
I will be starting that I think this week. I mean, probably when I'm give it a watch or a listen whilst I'm doing the artwork later. But
no, it's good. Again, I was a similar thing where it doesn't start slow because again I like the priest. His character has really good dialogue, really good dialogue,
and he sounds he's got that sort of creepy worship sort of sound to him,
and you can see why, because I was watching it and I'm thinking to myself, if I was living on this remote island as a population of 127 people, and it was been a bit of a dark time for the island, and then this priest shows up and starts talking the way he's talking, would he get me excited about it? Would I be oh, this guy's amazing? Would I? How far? Yeah, but I was but if I was living on this island, how? Because when he talks, you do listen. I am oh wow, it's really when he starts doing his preach and doing his sermons and his masses. God, I thought Indiana poked me on the back then. I turned around, no one was there. And she's not even in the room. The iPad's turned off. She's gone. I didn't notice she'd left. And I just thought she poked me in the back and she's not here. So now I'm like, what the hell poked me in the back? Ghosts.
That's all right, Greg.
The priest is really... yeah, that's all right. I'm afraid no ghost. His dialogue's really good, really engaging, and it really does make you think about stuff. You can see why this town are oh my god, he's the fucking
hero,
Elvis of fucking priests.
Yeah,
he's the Elvis of priests. This guy. He's the Gary Barlow of priests. He's the Gary Barlow of priests. Yeah.
He does. Well, I mean, Gary Barlow does attract a mass, so...
Midnight Mass. I think I'm on episode 6, and I think there's 9 again.
Okay.
So I'm near the end, because I'm watching them so late.
Yeah.
I'm not watching them till half an hour, and they're over an hour long each episode.
Oh, really?
They're an hour and 5 minutes. Each episode's an hour 5, hour 7.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't feel like it. It actually moves quite quick.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to hopefully it gets to that point. I actually usually start feeling quite guilty that I'm almost like trying to like egg Lizzie to go to bed early so I can watch what I want to watch.
Yeah, that's
And
terrible.
by early,
That's fucking awful.
and by early, I mean like 11:30 at night.
Right.
Like not like 9 o'clock, but I mean like by 11:30, I'm like, do you mind if I put my thing on now? Is it too? Can I watch this? Because she will like, not yet. I don't want to go to bed yet, but I don't want to watch that because it will scare me. So I'm like, okay, can I put it on now? Oh yeah, no, I'm going to bed now. It's like, yes, okay. But then by then I'm like, oh, God, this is an hour. It's 11:30, but it's not like I'm getting up for anything at the moment.
Well,
with Indiana off sick, I'm not even taking her to nursery. I'm just getting up and working.
that's fair enough. Yeah. I tell you, just reverting back to Squid Game quickly. The one thing I did enjoy was the how minimal the flashbacks were for like the main characters.
I was so worried they were going to go Lost with it.
Yeah, same.
Because
that's one of my least favourite things about Lost.
When I saw there were 6 games
And like
9 episodes, and then in the first episode they vote to leave the game. And then they're like at home for a while.
Yeah,
I'm like,
we've got to go back, Jack.
I was like, oh, well, of course they're going to have to keep doing this to make it 9 episodes rather than like you would say 6 for 6 games because that's what I kind of wanted it to be. But then I was like, oh man, we're going to get all the different flashbacks, but no, it wasn't. Like
it was really to a minimum. Like I mean, they did them for, and you know what? It was just such like minimal sort of shit, you know what I mean? It was just like, it was maybe like a one scene flashback and then that was it. It explained everything you needed to know, or like whatever background they had, and then it was done. Perfect.
Me and Lizzie have this thing, we hate it in shows, and this show we used to watch, 911, used to do it all the time. Indiana's just counting loudly in the bathroom, I can hear. When it would like start really exciting. We'd be like, oh, what's going on? And then me and Lizzie literally hate it. It comes up and it'll be like 11 hours earlier.
Yeah. You're just like,
it's the amount of times me and Lizzie have literally stopped watching 911 because every time we watched an episode, it was like 7 hours earlier. And we're like, oh no,
I have always said that
it's actually a running joke. It's a running joke now.
I've always said that I want to rewatch Lost, but without all the flashbacks and just Island.
Right? Yeah.
That's all I want to see.
Just Island.
I hate it. There was about every...
Did it not pay any relevance though?
Yeah, it probably did. But
I checked out of Lost very early in season 2.
It was. I mean, it really was like. Yeah, there was some bits where it made sense because,
was it relevant to the island? Yeah.
Yeah, they were annoyingly.
Okay.
Well, not all of them, but like there were some that were relevant to things that were present on the islands. Like the Mary statues, they all had like heroin inside them, and it's the reason as to why they had heroin inside them. And there's there's like things like that, and it's just like. But in general, like I feel like I only really cared about what was going on the island. Like,
of course, 100%.
They could probably skip out half of it at the time and just make it all about the island. It'd take less time to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, but this was also in the time when series were like 22 episodes long, right?
24 episodes or something like that.
Like long episodes,
half a year.
And they were still like long episodes, so that was like the age of the filler. There were so many filler episodes. I always remember the most filler episode I saw in the first season, it must have been of Lost, was when a cave collapses with Jack inside.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, Jack's in there, and the whole episode's them like trying to get just move rocks to get him out. And literally nothing happens the whole episode.
Nope.
And at the end he comes out and he's absolutely fine. Thank you guys. Thank you for saving me.
Teamwork.
The end. And I was like, what a stupid, that was a pointless episode.
Cop out. What an absolute cop out.
That was their first big filler episode. And I imagine there was probably a lot more that followed it. What did I watch yesterday? Did I rewatch something old? Had a guy from Lost in it. What the fuck was I watching? Oh, I was watching it with you. It was Saw, wasn't it? We watched Saw, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
With Ed. We watched Saw, and the guy lives on the island from Lost.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's the weedy little janitor bloke from the hospital in Saw.
Yes,
he's great. You know what? He's actually really good in Lost. Like, he's really, really good in Lost.
Oh, I'm sure he is. Yeah. What are you doing? Hide in the island. Move in the island. Goodbye.
Hello.
There's 2 islands. What?
It's just like, it did. I mean, obviously, Lost gets a bit dumb as it goes on. We're going back to 1974.
I don't know. I literally checked out after season 1.
Yeah, fair enough.
Season 2. Not even. I didn't even make it all the way to season 2. Like, I think after a handful of episodes of season 2, I was like, nah, I'm out. I contemplated rewatching it when I got Netflix again. So, like, that was 10 years ago. But I didn't.
Yeah, fair enough.
There's the end of that exciting story. There's the end of that. Which is why I like now that series can be 6 episodes. 12 episodes.
You know what?
9.
10 is a completely substantial amount. Or like Ted
I
Lasso,
think
the
10's a
second
good
season
amount.
was like 12 episodes or something like that.
So it was 10, but they asked for an extra 2.
Is it?
So they made 2 more episodes. One was a Christmas special, and one's like just a story about
finale.
one of the characters. No, it wasn't the finale. They did 2 extra episodes, and one's a Christmas special, which they already aired, and the other one is one of the characters in one end of episode wants to go get drunk, and that episode just follows him on his drunk adventures. Just Coach Beard.
Oh, yeah,
getting
it's
drunk.
Beard. Yeah. I like Beard.
Yeah, it's really good. But I finished series 2 of Ted Lasso last night.
I've yet to find a substantial free stream of it, so I'm waiting.
Talk about
fucking clips. I see clips, but nothing's
talk
ruined
about a
anything.
show that. Yeah, talk about a show that manages to like keep that nice feeling of season 1.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it keeps that nice feeling and that hopefulness. And, you know, that fuzzy, warm Ted Lasso feeling inside. And at the same time, like, break your heart constantly.
Hell yeah.
Like the second season is that just constantly.
I mean, it addresses
in a really good
it
way.
addresses so much more, but it's not like random. It's totally in line with characters in the show and things that are occurring and stuff like that. And it's really interesting. And there's been like a lot of like character development building up to obviously a bit more as well. Roy is still just fantastic in it. I did see a clip.
So good.
I did see a clip today of from one of the final episodes where he actually goes and asks for advice about something.
Diamond dogs.
Yeah. They diamond dog him, and he just sort of like the thing that he's upset about. He goes to them. He goes, and it hurt my feeling.
Yeah,
just one.
Just one.
It hurt my feeling. Made me laugh so much.
Yeah.
Because that's such a Roy scenario.
That scene was really good. But I look forward to you catching up. But it's really good, and it also deals with like a lot of mental health and just seeing characters go through dark moments. But especially like where we see like Nate's journey. And his journey is a dark journey. Yeah. And it really does like leave you like, holy fuck.
Well, I've been seeing a lot of comparisons to Star Wars with Nate in this season.
I can see it. I can see it. Yeah, I can see
very,
it.
Very interesting. And it makes.
But with much more in your face mental health issues alongside.
Hell
it.
yeah.
But,
It's
very clear. It was very clear. I'm actually really sad it's over because I've always enjoyed watching Ted Lasso.
No, it's been very. I mean,
it's over.
The one or two I think I saw.
There'll be another series.
Of course, they've already commissioned it. They won like all of them won Emmys
like 2
or something.
Seasons,
so like,
I think. Yeah, I know it's crazy, isn't it?
But yeah, I look at that. It's good time to watch TV. What can I say?
It is a good time to watch TV. Yeah, it is a good time to the point where I'm watching so many shows I forgot I started.
Yeah,
like there are shows I forgot. Like, it's so funny. Like me and Lizzie watched this hospital drama called New Amsterdam. And really loved season 1, really loved season 2. Season 2 ended with like COVID happening.
Right.
And then it finished. And then I've been waiting all this time for season 3. And I'm like, oh my God, it hasn't come out. It's just been like a year. And I'm seeing adverts saying it's coming September this year. And I'm like, Lizzie's like, started yet? I'm like, I'm going to go download the episode. acquire the episode tonight. So I'm like, yes, let's go. And then I'm literally just like, right, season 3, got ya. Season 4, got ya, sorry. Sit down, just check the quality. And I was like, previously on New Amsterdam. I'm like, I don't remember any of this in season 2. And then I realised we actually had missed an entire season.
No.
Like, season 2 ended with COVID, and I thought they hadn't made anything since, when actually an entire 3rd season came out in like April.
Damn.
And now season 4 has started like last month. So now we've got loads of episodes to watch.
Yes, you do.
Which is fine. I've acquired them.
You've got some.
So we're watching like 2 of those a night, me and Lizzie.
Yeah.
To get through them. But the thing is, New Amsterdam, it's one of those shows where you either roll your eyes at it or you're like in tears. like
There is no middle ground. It's just
there's no middle ground. You're either you're just either just like, oh, here we go, they're doing this storyline, or you're just like, stupid show, stupid show,
stupid.
Lizzie's like, you crying? I'm like, no,
Yeah.
you. She's like, no. I'm like dealing with like some kid that's got cancer in there or something. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh man.
But been watching those, and now I'm quite happy that I've got Midnight Mass to like, cheer me up afterwards.
Yeah.
Mate, it's so funny. What the fuck was I watching? So I was watching. I think I was telling you and Ed this the other day, or maybe I was just telling Ed. They've added on Netflix the Oat Studios films.
I don't know. What
It's
is
the
that?
guy who made. It's Neil Blomkamp, the guy who made District 9.
Okay.
He made District 9 and Welcome to Elysium. He made these short, like, horror films. Like, he made his own studio, and they're like 20 minutes long. Some of them, they've got Sigourney Weaver's in the first one and stuff. Like, they're really good. There's one on there called Fire Something that's worth watching. It's fucking nasty, man.
Aye.
But they're little horror stories. And I've looked through them all, and there was one on there I hadn't seen. So I watched it, and it was basically a recurring segment of a cook called Cooking with Bill. And it's like a weird 80s kitchen, and it's a couple, and they're doing a cooking show. But it's all like, oh, don't you just hate it when you want to cut your cheese, but your knife just won't cut through the... Oh, it's impossible. I give up. I can't use this knife. Like, well, lucky for you, we've got the Mega Colortron 6000 to test out. Look at this. And obviously he ends up like cutting his fucking arm off on TV.
Standard.
And he's like, his hands all... He's like, and then he cuts to a standby. Beep, and then it starts again, and it's them normal going... This week, have you ever tried to peel an onion? Give it a go. Oh, this is impossible. Well, that means you need this machine. And then something goes wrong, and then beep, and then it starts again. Every time it's a new thing they're showing.
Like project or item or something.
There's one towards the end where they make sushi. They throw fish in this big box. Press a button. And he's like, one day you could be having sushi on an airplane. Can you imagine that? Oh, my God. Like, it's like that sort of funny, like, 80s sort of show. Anyway, the sushi comes out.
I'm so sorry to interrupt, Greg, but I'm about to piss myself.
Okay, sorry. You go.
Marin was right. We can't go an episode without mentioning it.
No, God. I did think he was looking at me and smiling a lot. I was like, he's really enjoying what I'm telling him. He's really enjoying what I'm describing to him because he's smiling and nodding at me. But no, he obviously just really needed to go through a urination, which happens. We've all been there. I've been there a few times. I've weed a few times today, but I've not pissed myself, so that's good. I'm doing pretty well on that. I was out drinking Friday and Sunday. No, Saturday. Yeah, Saturday with Joe and Ed, and yesterday with Callum. Nice to see Callum again. But I managed to not urinate myself, so, yay me. Things are looking up. Indiana, are you upstairs? Welcome back. So they put this like fish in there to make sushi, and it comes out, and it's almost like thick, like slices of cucumber with like
I'm listening.
a really thick strand of like some woman's like ponytail going through it. It's like all hair in it, and the guy's obviously just like, it's gonna be great. That to the camera, and he's like trying to eat it. And it's like bad. Like he's like pulling the hair out his mouth. And I was lying on the sofa, and I almost threw up. Like you said no. Yeah, you did say the other night actually. Yeah, it was making me feel so sick watching him try and eat this like hairy sushi. I actually felt really sick. It like instantly switched in me. I felt hot, sweaty, and I was going like I was trying to be quiet because it'll wake up Lizzie.
It's just
upstairs.
one of those things, isn't it?
And I'm like scrambling for the remote, like covering my eyes, so I don't have. I've literally there's on these Oak Studios. There's literally like Resident Evil style bodies all blending together and turning into a big horrible mass of all hands and fucking. I'm fine. But a man eating a hairy piece of sushi, no, I'm done.
I always
I can't do
remember
it.
my.
I'm scrambling for the. For the remote. I'm like, and I find it. And I'm like, right, I'm going to watch the next Midnight Mass. Turn it on. And like, and like the opening scene is like dead cats. The opening scene's dead cats on the beach who have been like mutilated and stuff. And I'm just like, oh, that's better. Yeah, that's better.
That's better.
I think I actually out loud said to myself, dead mutilated kittens. That's better. That's better. I can relax a bit now.
That's much more up my alley.
That's much better.
My go-to film moment that always makes me nearly vomit is do you remember the old Phil Jackson film Brain Dead?
Oh yeah, of course.
Brain Dead.
Yeah.
So when they're having dinner and like the dessert comes round and it's literally just a bowl of custard, immediately I'm just like. But then she her wound bursts into it, and I'm just like,
yeah, I hear you.
Guaranteed to nearly make me throw up.
Yeah.
To the point where I can feel the saliva building in my mouth. If that happens, there's no going back. It's happening.
Yeah, I don't think I could ever rewatch that.
Nope.
That cooking show episode again.
Yeah.
I mean, up to that point, I was finding it quite funny, but then that bit, I was like, nope, I'm done. I'm out. I'm done.
I think we are done.
I would say it brings us to the end of the episode. Yeah, it ended up being a lot longer than I expected it to be.
This is what happens when we both watch the same TV show. We've got something to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. And again, the last 2 episodes, I've had stuff to do, but we've not, so it's fine because I've ended up talking about other stuff.
There you go.
It's not that often we go into a full TV conversation. So
it's rare because I do not watch a lot of stuff, so usually it's just you telling me about it. I was like, that sounds good, but give me your opinion.
We got off to a rough start with a few technical issues this episode, but actually kind of in the long run was okay. Actually, it's been quite a long episode.
It's the final furlough in not furlough. Let's not say furlong.
No.
Furlong is it?
Furlong, yeah.
Furlong has been pretty successful.
I can't remember what pub it was in, but there was always an advert for, I think it was for like the Sandown race course, I want to say. I swear maybe it was in the Cox. It was like, it's like a cartoon strip. It was like a woman at the bar, the guy looking at her from across the bar, and then they dance, and it's like their eyes meet, and it's them dancing, and then it's them arms in arms, like slow dancing on the dance floor, and it said the final furlong at the bottom. And I swear it used to be in the Cox this post or somewhere.
It sounds
like I used to always read it when I was pissing.
Or maybe like the Antelope.
No, it's way
too more pin up.
It's definitely Kingston pub.
Okay,
definitely Kingston. It was definitely before we started branching out to Surbiton. This was like when I first started kind of hitting the pubs in Kingston, I think.
Oh man.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. When you just said the final furlong, that's what popped in my head. That cartoon image of a couple like arm in arm, slow dancing, like a drawing. It says underneath it, the final furlong.
Yeah.
So there you go. Maybe I'll look that up and see if I can find it.
Yeah.
Everyone, thank you for listening. If it's been listenable, I'm not sure how much we've ranted, and ahed, and confused ourselves and remembered things. I remember this, I remember that all the way through this episode. I like this bit in Squid Games. I like that bit. But, we haven't actually spoken about it between one-on-one, so this was our actual, did you watch it? What did you think conversation?
We
always save it for you lucky people. We save conversations for you lucky people, because isn't that nice?
Yeah, you're welcome.
No, don't all rush at once to thank us.
Yeah. We don't do it for your thanks.
Yeah. Your ears are thanks enough. Thanks for listening. I have been Greg, Hairy Sushi Armstrong.
I don't know. I guess I've been Joe, honeycomb licking Jackson. I guess. I don't know.
Lick that honeycomb. Bye.
I am
The All Seeing Guys podcast is part of Podnose, the UK's leading independent entertainment podcasting network. For episode archives of the All Seeing Guys and all of the shows on the network, visit us at www.podnose.com. You can also follow us on Twitter via @Podnose or send us an email via admin@podnose.com.